Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way back to me. It is safe and slammed up. And the doctor made a sensational play. Hunter in front. The front. Did they score? And Giroux's coming. Weston fires. Weston scores! Brady back again. He's got to be 10 and goes forward. And he fumbles the football and the Eagles have it.
We welcome you to the Philly Sports Hour, the final one of March, which is crazy to think we're almost in April already. It's also crazy that Phillies baseball is officially underway. Opening day was yesterday. It was a tough one to watch, especially in the stadium. I feel like I was back in 2020 a little bit, which is not where I want to be. But there's a lot of stuff going on in Philadelphia sports. The Flyers, Ivan Fedotov has finally made his way over to Philadelphia after 8 years, so that's exciting. Hassan Reddick trade, which was happened in the middle of opening day yesterday, and after that, it's kind of where the wheels railed off for the Phillies. But yeah, so Phillies opening day, the Phils are back. We're going to talk some Phils. We're going to talk about opening day. We're going to talk about the roster, a lot of things. And the person helping me doing that today from Philly Sports Network is Kylee Sullenberger. Kylee, how are we? Kylie's muted.
My man, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's didn't get out of bed the time I wanted to this morning. Was a little late getting into the stream, but we're all good. We're here. We're here. Someone that was not here or not there was the Phillies bullpen, who was really bad yesterday in opening day, which is what we're going to start with. And probably the biggest concern to come out of the game was that bullpen. Matt Strahm, Jeff Hoffman, Jose Alvarado, Connor Brogdon, and Junior Marte were needed for 3 innings of work and 86 pitches. They allowed 8 hits, 9 runs, 5 walks, and struck out 5. Compare that to Wheeler's line. He threw 6 innings and threw 3 more pitches than the entirety of the bullpen did in 3 innings. Alvarado had 30 of his own. Just kind of looking back on the bullpen yesterday, not a lot of strikes were thrown. And when they were strikes, the Braves were hitting them. What's your biggest takeaway and concern out of the pitching staff from yesterday?
Man, where do I even start with this? I mean, people are going to question why he put Strahm in over Hoffman and why he took Wheeler out. It's opening day. Wheeler was at 90 pitches, 89 and 90 pitches. So you don't want to have him throw a lot to start the season. So I got taken him out earlier, but I would have put Hoffman in. That's a lot of hindsight, though. Brogdon is the most concerning because has shown no difference than last year. I mean, I know it's early, but...
And Jose Alvarado, I mean, it's opening day, so there's not a whole lot you can take. If this continues, it could be a problem. But Jose Alvarado, 30 pitches, could not find the zone. Neither could Connor Brogdon, obviously. And just I'm really concerned with the hard-throwing lefty in Alvarado. I mean, we haven't seen Jose. We've seen him be so dominant over the last year and a half, and we go back to the early part of 2022 where Jose Alvarado couldn't throw a strike to save his life, and he kind of looked like that yesterday.
Yeah, he really did. And it definitely took me back to the early days of 2022. But that also concerned me, but it's opening. It's the first game of the season, so I'm going to wait a couple more appearances from him to really get concerned.
Something I also want to touch on is Rob Thompson's managing. It looked like Jose Alvarado faced, I believe, Matt Olson was his final batter. And should he have been taken out before Olson and then he allowed the big double to kind of blow it open? Philly still may have had a chance at that point. Was Alvarado left one batter too long? And we've seen this from Rob Thompson throughout his managing. And is this like a problem?
It could be. I mean, Olsen was hitting everything. So I don't know if putting in a different pitcher would have done anything because he was hitting everybody, but definitely makes me a little concerned too. With definitely.
Let's look at the other side of the ball. Big home run from Marsh in the 5th knocked Strider out of the game. I would like to say I was heckling Strider before the game. I was out at the bullpen, so it is. You are welcome for getting him out of the game early. I did yell at him a little bit, told him that 99 is the worst number in sports. So yeah, the Marsh homer was big, really nice swing, and it's a really encouraging sign because he's coming off that surgery. In his first game, he goes yard. That's a really encouraging sign from Marsh.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was down in Clearwater, right after it was after his surgery, but he was taking at bats. He looked good. So to see that on opening day is a very, very good sign.
Yeah, but what's not a good sign is the top 4 in the lineup. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and JT Realmuto 0 for 14 with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. It feels kind of reminiscent from how the Phillies went out last year in games 6 and 7 of the National League Championship Series where the top 4 couldn't hit. It's good to see some things haven't changed, Kylee.
Some things never change. You have 630. You have over $700 million in contracts, almost $800 million in contracts at the first 4, and they go 0 for 14 on opening day. That can't happen.
I mean, the Phillies want to be competitive in this division. It's hard to do so when your team, when you don't have the guys at the top of the order coming through for you. So
yeah, they got to come through
yesterday. And I mean, there was some the Phillies were chasing yesterday as well. I mean, it really looked like things had not changed since the end of the NLCS where the season ended. Like chasing balls, striking out, and the blueprint is out, I think. Just give the Phillies something they can't hit and they'll swing at it.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, unfortunately.
It's not good, but something is good. 20 years into Citizens Bank Park. It was awesome yesterday to be back there. Charlie Manuel throwing out the first pitch. My dad called it in like December when we got our opening day tickets. Hey, I mean, Charlie's throwing out the first pitch. I was like, all right, put some money on it, and he should have. But
he should have put money on that one.
Yeah, Larry Bowa catching it was awesome. The introductions were great. Dan Baker again, awesome, and
incredible as always.
And one thing that wasn't great was a lot of the new graphics, a lot of the new advertisements around the ballpark, the new out-of-town scoreboard, just call it the new out-of-town ad board. So many advertisements, very few scores, and the graphics around the ballpark where the old scores used to be and some other stats have all changed. What are your thoughts on it? It took me a little bit to get used to it. I was like, what's going on around here?
Yeah, it definitely took some getting used to. I didn't like how they had so many ads everywhere for sports betting, especially after the Ohtani news. So it's just organizations fully going into the sports betting is not something I find a little weird.
Yeah, you can get involved in the gambling game with the Gamblers R Us podcast on Philly Sports Reports. Thank you for the free ad, Kylee.
There you go.
Go to Spotify, YouTube. Go check out the Gamblers R Us podcast with Gus and Scott Barber. Yeah, one ad that was really confusing was how they covered up the flower bed out in left field. You can't see it from the broadcast. You could kind of see it. Really, the only place you could see it from is if you're in left field. And they covered it up with the biggest tree cutting down company in America, which was kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. But I was at Yankee Stadium last year and I noticed how many ads there were. And Citizens Bank Park had something about it. There weren't a whole lot of ads around the ballpark, and it's really starting to become a corporate stadium. Like there's a lot of stadiums around there was some stadiums around where it was just kind of stayed the same, and there wasn't all these ads everywhere, and Citizens Bank Park was one of them. Not anymore, and it's kind of sad to see.
Yeah, I don't like it. That was one thing I really did appreciate about Citizens Bank Park was it wasn't very much of a corporate ballpark, but now with all these ads, especially with the jersey patch coming, it's gonna happen.
We'll get to the jersey patch a little later, and I mean, it is what it is. This is what happens when your team starts to win. No one wants to advertise a team that's losing, and now the Phillies are one of the might go back to the World Series. Some people may say, and this is what comes from. But it was great to be back at the ballpark, and you can get back to the ballpark with SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket buying app that makes it so easy to buy your tickets. All you got to do, download the SeatGeek app and get the most easiest and most efficient way to buy your tickets. Each seat is given a green, red, or yellow dot indicating whether the ticket would be a good, bad, or fair deal. The Phillies are in full swing back at Citizens Bank Park. WrestleMania is coming up. The Sixers and Flyers in their fight for the playoffs, and concerts going on, comedy shows, lots of things going on around everywhere. And you can use SeatGeek anywhere and you can save some money as well by using code Philly Sports Report. Again, that is Philly Sports Report. You will save $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. PhillySportsReport to save $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Click the link in the description or the bio to save $20 on your SeatGeek purchase. Want to look at the roster really quick. Not many surprises on it. The only few things were Taijuan Walker and Ryan Kirkering starting on the IL. Walker has right shoulder soreness, Kirkering right forearm strain. And you got Brogdon, Junior Marte, Luis Ortiz in the bullpen filling those spots. Spencer Turnbull goes to the bullpen to fill in for Walker. There's not much to dive into with the roster. I think if we knew what the IO was going to look like, everyone could have put their own roster out months ago.
Yeah.
We'd probably be right.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, Kirkering will be back by April 9th. That's when he's supposed to. So that's something we can look forward to next week. So there's that. But the Taijuan Walker news is definitely a little concerning.
Yeah, Walker has missed all his cutoffs this spring. He did not look good in spring training games at all. It's something to be concerned about if you're looking at Taijuan Walker, and way you can try and move him. You can't really, because you gave him this huge contract a few years ago. I don't know if anyone's willing to take that contract except maybe the New York Mets. But it's definitely something to be worried about. How worried should we be about what's the expected timeline for Taijuan Walker? And can he continue what he had in the first half of last year throughout the season, or is he just going to stink?
I'm not sure what the expected timeline is. I might have seen it and forgotten it. But I'm absolutely concerned about this just because, he didn't have the spring training. He's going into the season already hurt. And again, on a big contract, he didn't have a good second half of the season. So, I mean, maybe this delays that, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah, something the Phillies need to do that would be convincing to win the National League East and try and win this division is to get a hot start in this season. The Phillies have a pretty easy schedule in April. They're facing 9 teams who had a combined record of 679 and 779 in 2023, with 104 of those coming from the Braves, who they're playing right now. And yesterday certainly was not an encouraging start to that the run that they're trying to go on to start hot. It's been the message all spring, and they certainly got off to a bad start, Kylee.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said I didn't expect better than this. And I really expected them to really just to set a tone early this year, because that's all spring training. That's what we've been talking about. They want to make a run at the division. They want to kick the door down. So, I mean, I don't know what they thought was going to happen if they all just didn't perform yesterday. Hopefully that changes today, but I don't know. I expected better.
Yeah, and the three teams finished above 500 that they're playing at Citizens Bank Park. Those teams are, let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. It's the Braves, obviously, the Reds, the White Sox, the Pirates, and then on the road they're going to Anaheim to play the Angels and the Padres. Is that I got to be missing one in there? I'm not sure though, but
I'm triple checking. So it's the Reds starting Monday, and then it's the Nationals, the
the Nationals.
Pirates, the Nationals, and the Rockies, the White Sox, Reds, Padres, and then Angels.
There's not a lot of traveling until the very end of the month. The
Yeah.
teams coming here have a combined 163, 161 record on the road, with most of those coming from the Braves, who they're starting with. So the Phillies can maybe bounce back in these next two games. I've on my Bell Ringers podcast, Colin and I predicted what the record would be for the Braves and Reds, and he might have been spot on. He said Phillies lose 2 of 3 to the Braves and then get mad and then sweep the Reds. Which might end up happening. The Phillies might be mad after this one. Like the 45,000 that were in attendance yesterday.
Here's hoping they're that mad.
And yeah, I mean, they might bounce back and crush Max Fried and Chris Nail the next 2 days, but we'll see what happens. Can the Phillies bounce back after a game like that? I know it's only game 1, but if they really want to get off to a hot start, it has to start now. Can they start it now, or is the season over?
It can start now, and it has to start now. If they truly want to make a run at the division, they got to win the games early. They just have to.
And my other question is, can the Phillies even win the NL East? I mean, we see how they play against the Braves in the regular season. Every game against the Braves this year is so much more important than it's ever been. Can the Phillies even win the NL East? Or should they even try? Or should they just be not even won it because of the week off that they have between the wild card and the National League Division Series? Or should they just play those 2 games, get those extra reps, or kind of hope they don't fall into the same trap the Dodgers and Braves have every year?
So they can make a run at the division. I don't think they will. I think the Braves are just too good, but this is all on paper. So should they make a run at the division? Yeah, absolutely. You should always want to win everything as much as you can. You should want to go 162-0, although that's quite literally impossible. That's not going to happen. You should want that to happen. You should try to, make that extra effort. And if I don't care about the week off, maybe that could help the Phillies. I mean, they always seem to get tired at the very, very end. So hopefully maybe that week off kind of gets them a revamp, kind of gets them going, and they go on a run.
They do always
It'd be
seem
funny
to.
too.
It would be very fun. The Phillies have an opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. But you are right. They always seem to have that one the end of these playoff runs kind of run out of their pixie dust. You saw it in 2022. The offense went cold last year. The offense went extremely cold, and maybe that week off could bring some extra heat and fire into this this lineup. Could that happen? Could these extra couple games help out the Phillies? I guess so, if you really want to look at it. Phillies went 15-13 in April in 2023. What do you think they'll go this year? Do you think it'll be better than that, or they'll be a better March, April team this year, or are they still going to stink in April like usual?
I think they'll be better. I mean, they're going to have to be, like, again, if they really want to win the division like they said they do, if they really want to have things go differently this year, they're going to have to do it. They can, and they seem to really want to. They just have to do it.
Yeah, they will have to do it. We'll see if it happens. But something that is super easy and can happen, Kylie, is you getting some overalls on Foco, and everyone getting some overalls on Foco. The new shortles are out for the summer. Foco has the most awesome gear, and you can gear up over at Foco. Click the link in the description or the bio to save 10% off any FOCO purchase. That includes the overalls, the bobbleheads, literally anything. Go over there, get some FOCO, have a good time. Kylie brought it up earlier about the jersey ad. I want to talk about it a little bit. So the Phillies are expected to have a jersey ad by the All-Star break per Phillies Nation. They were supposed to have them last year as well, never got them, so the jersey kind of looked naked without the numbers on the sleeve. They still do, and I still don't like it, but now they look even worse because of the Nike stuff, which I was in the nosebleeds yesterday, but I usually did not have a hard time reading the names on the back of the jerseys. I literally could not see the names on the back of the Phillies jerseys yesterday.
No, you can't. And when I was in spring training, I know I was sitting pretty close, and you could barely see the name. Thank God you can still if you can see the numbers, you got to memorize who's wearing what, because you can't see the name. It's horrible.
I mean, in the games I was watching yesterday and Thursday, the names do look a little bigger on the jerseys than they did in spring. I think Nike did do a little extra of a stretch to them when they got delivered to their home ballpark, so that was nice. But Phillies, I mean, the text is still the Phillies don't have a very bold text on their jerseys, and you literally, I might have been sitting up with God, but I could not see the names on the back of the jersey, and I was I know all the numbers, I mean, obviously, but for those that don't and just know the last names, I mean, it's going to be rough if you're sitting all the way up and really anywhere because you probably can't see them anywhere.
You literally can't see them anywhere. I mean, the Phillies, like you said, they do not have a bold font to begin with, and making it smaller just made it so much worse.
Yeah, but something I do like, and I forgot to mention this, we're talking about the graphics, but the out of town, they're the big scoreboard. They finally put up the correct stats. They don't have the expected average or the strikeout percentage or the stupid stats they had. They finally put up the batting average, the OPS, the slugging, the homers, all the stats that actually matter. So thank you, Phillies, for finally listening to us. We appreciate it. And they used the scoreboard a lot more. There was a lot of empty space last year. This year it seems pretty filled up. So good for them. Good for the graphics.
Finally.
Proud of you. You finally did something right. Anyway, back to the jersey ad. You have anyone you want it to be?
Wawa. That seems to be the popular answer. I agree with it. I love Wawa. It'd be very fitting.
I think it would be perfect if just for the playoffs they just put Schwarberfest on Jeff Schwarber's jersey. No one else. He just gets it.
That's a good idea. I like
but
that. That's a good idea.
It's probably gonna be some all these. There's no big. There's no big name jersey advertisement on any of these teams' uniforms. We'll see what the Phillies do. Another no name. They've kind of been going that route with these ads on the around the stadium.
That's true.
But we'll see what they do with the jersey. It would be awesome if it's Wawa. I think that'd be awesome.
It would be awesome.
Do you have it? But it's probably not. But do you have any team that any ad that you're expecting it to be? I don't know if you know anyone that might know something, or is there any thing flowing around where it might be this?
No, I haven't heard a single thing. I know they've turned down a lot of companies. They've turned down a lot of offers. So it sounds like they're going to try to find one that fits with the city and the fans and everything. So it really could be Wawa if they're going that route.
That might be just they're turning everyone down. It might kind of sounds like they just want Wawa. So, we'll see what happens there. It should be by the All-Star break. But it might be bigger than the names on the back of the jerseys. The advertisement.
It might, very well might.
That's not good. But anyway, Phillies Braves. These next two games, it'll be Aaron Nola and Chris Sale on Saturday. Sunday will be Max Fried and Aaron Nola on Saturday, and then Chris Sale and Ranger Suarez on Sunday. What are you expecting from these next two games? Can the Phillies bounce back?
The Phillies could definitely bounce back. I expect them. They got punched in the face yesterday with this, so hopefully that was a bit of a wake-up call. Hey, these games matter now. Hopefully that gets them going. And Chris Sale and Ranger Suarez is a matchup that is hopefully a mismatch. I mean, Chris Sale is going in healthy for once in his career, and that's not a good sign for us, but he's also not really the pitcher he used to be. So if the Phillies can just jump on him early, they'll be fine. And with Fried plays the Phillies well. But it's Nola on the mound, but he also doesn't play well against the Braves at Citizens Bank Park. So it's a toss-up for both games, honestly.
And it really won't matter if the Phillies bullpen can't come through like they did. I mean, Jose Alvarado's done for the series. He threw 30 pitches yesterday. There's no way they can't throw him back out there unless he feels somewhat good on Sunday. So,
yeah,
we'll see what's up with that. The offense needs to wake up. That's the biggest thing as well. The top four in the lineup need to hit. So we'll see if they can do that. But really quick before I'm out of stuff. So before we end the show, I do want to shout out Betty's Triples. A cause for pause. Whenever a Philly hits a triple, Bet's family and the Fandemic crew will donate $100 to Betty's Triples, directly supporting the Pennsylvania SPCA. You can make a donation at thefandemiccrew.com. It's a great story. And it would mean a lot to the Fandemic crew and Nolan and Beth from the Fandemic crew who are running this. And it's a great cause. They're great people. So if you want to go help, go to thefandemiccrew.com. They're doing great work, and it's awesome. They're great people. So
love the Fandemic crew.
Make sure you go check them out. It would mean a lot to them, and they're good people. So it'd be great if you could do them.
Yeah, go do it.
Before we wrap up, is there anything you want to add? There wasn't a whole lot to talk about today. The season literally just started. I mean, we usually go for an hour, but I mean, we're a little short today. It's all good. Maybe I get some chance to catch up on some sleep.
Yeah, right.
But anything you want to add? Anything else that you think we missed today?
It's tough because you don't want to overreact. But yesterday was not good. And they should know it's not good, and hopefully they just realize that these games matter now, because spring training doesn't matter. You're just going for your mechanics. These games matter, and hopefully, especially with the trade deadline months away, that's what we can look forward to too. So there's stuff to look forward to.
There is a lot of stuff to look forward to. Where can people find you on social media, Kylee?
I'm mostly on Twitter at BSP_Sully. That's mainly what I use.
There you go. Make sure to go check her out. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. If you can't watch live on Saturdays, you can always catch up. It always stays on YouTube, and go to the podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. We are on there. So thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to the show. Make sure to go follow on our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Go follow Kylee. Her Twitter link is in the description of the YouTube video. Also, follow me while you're at it, at BGoldstein. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We will see you next time. See you.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's deep. It's gone. Yes! And it is gone. Yes! It is bedlam at the bank. Look at the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way back to me. It is safe and slammed up. And the doctor made a sensational play. In front, the front, and they score! And Giroux's got it.